Newcastle United boarded the plane for Austria this morning as they continue with their pre-season preparations ahead of the game against Celtic on Saturday. However, one superstar was not on the plane, and that was Alexander Isak. Italian journalist has confirmed with Fabrizio Romano that the interest is very, very strong from Newcastle United for Scalvini. Aston Villa are now interested in Conor Gallagher. Jack Ross has had a promotion at Newcastle United, his third job title since joining. And Jason Tindall confronted by a Sunderland fan. Let's deal with it. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Toon Review. This is your latest Newcastle United news with myself, Paul. Hope you're all doing okay. We'll start off with the Alexander Isak story this morning. Now obviously Newcastle United are heading out to Austria to continue with their pre-season build-up. Of course they take on Celtic at Parkhead on Saturday, which you can catch right here on Matchday Live. Full commentary of the game with myself and Billy, of course, for that one. Now, one player was not on the plane, and it was Alexander Isak. Now, as you can imagine, this has caused all sorts of furore on social media about, oh, Newcastle must be selling him. Newcastle are doing this. He was expected back last week, and he's still not in training. Now, it may well be a simple fact that Newcastle United are just giving Alexander Isak a little bit of extra time after a really, really tough season last year. And this again highlights why we are looking at another quality striker to come in and help with the workload with Alexander Isak. He cannot play every game. We ran him into the ground last season. You saw in the last 5 or 6 games he was dead on his feet. He just didn't offer much, did he? Because he was knackered. And also he'd been nursing a groin problem for quite some time. Now whether that is still an issue or not, no reports of that. There's certainly no confirmation of that. Newcastle United themselves have stayed very quiet on the situation, just got on the plane and off to Austria they went. But the fact that Isak's not there, there's a lot of obviously Liverpool fans picked up on this and fans of many other teams thinking, oh, Isak's not there, yet the link with Ekiteke, what's going on there? You know, is Newcastle United planning on letting him go? The answer is no. Newcastle United have said many, many times Isak is going nowhere. And the fact that he's not on the plane simply says to me that Newcastle United are giving him a little bit of extra time to get himself ready for the new season, which is going to be very, very tough on all the players, but especially Isaac, who really did get run into the ground, as I say, last season. Now, there's certainly no other speculation in my eyes as a Newcastle United fan that anything else is happening with Isaac. It's just simply he's been given extra time off. And I'm sure Newcastle will confirm that in due course, that it's just a simple case of making sure that he is ready to go. And that is why we are actively seeking out another quality striker. And we said this on the show last night, that it's simply about squad building. Yes, Ekiteke is a lot of money. No doubt about that. And a lot of people saying, well, you know, is he going to come for just sitting on the bench? He's not going to be a bench warmer. We have got 4 competitions next season. A lot of football is to be played next year. And we need rotation. And if we can get a player with the quality of Ekiteke, who's come on leaps and bounds in the last few seasons, that's fine by me. Let's go and do it. That's what we need to do. Because Isak is very frail. He's a frail stature. You know, the chances of him getting injured are huge. You know, he's already been injured for quite some time with Newcastle United. So we can't rely on just Isak. It's impossible. But of course, not being on the plane to go to Austria has caused all sorts of questions. Now, listen, he may well be in another country. He may well be in Sweden and deciding just to go to Austria from Sweden instead of coming over here, then going back. It may well be he's making his own way there. We'll see in due course. But for God's sake, let's just laugh off all these people that are saying, oh, he's not there. That's a transfer is being prepared. Bollocks to it. Absolute bollocks. Now, obviously, we spoke about Conor Gallagher as well in recent live shows. Newcastle United have been linked with the player. Luke Edwards said that there is a possibility that was overstated Newcastle United's interest in the midfielder. But other journalists have also said we're in there for him. And Conor Gallagher, for me, could offer something. Obviously, Billy doesn't feel the same way. He expressed his feelings on the show last night. But I think he splits decision. And when we put the poll up last night on the live show about signing Gallagher, 55% said yes, 45% said no. So you can see there's a very close split between certainly our viewers as to Conor Gallagher's how good he would be for Newcastle United, whether it'd be a good signing or not. However, Aston Villa have now entered the frame for him. £50 million is being touted as the price tag. I personally think 50 million quid for Gallagher is a little bit too much. I think he's overpriced. I do think he's got qualities that he could offer us. I definitely do think that, but not at 50 million quid. And if Aston Villa want to pay 50 million quid for Conor Gallagher, then in my eyes, go right ahead, Villa. Waste 50 million quid, because that's a lot of money to spend on Conor Gallagher, who didn't really set the world on fire in the Premier League when he was at Chelsea. He had good spells, but yes, he's done really well at Madrid. Don't get me wrong, really well at Madrid. But I'm not sure 50 million is where Newcastle United want to go for Conor Gallagher. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, there is very, very strong Newcastle United interest in Giorgio Scalvini. Listen, he's been linked for weeks now with the club, but journalist Matteo Moretto has been speaking on Fabrizio Romano's Italian YouTube channel and has given us a little bit of an update as to what is actually going on with Scalvini. This is what he had to say. He said, "True, I repeat, Newcastle are strongly, strongly interested in Giorgio Scalvini. As of today, Atalanta has not dropped its fixed valuation of 50 million euros, which is around 43.2 million pounds for Scalvini. So in short, we'll understand whether it could be a suitable investment for Newcastle or not. To date, there hasn't been an official offer for Scalvini from Newcastle yet. Clearly, we'll see if the situation can evolve in a certain sense or not. However, for Atalanta, who consider Scalvini a very important player, which we knew, Atalanta have been very, very vocal about that, saying that they wanted to keep him. It goes on to say, I would dare say he's unsellable, but sometimes the word unsellable is also used for strategic reasons. Clearly, if an offer higher than 50 million euros were to arrive, I believe that Atalanta could really evaluate him." So again, now you're talking about 50 million euros there, okay? And you look at somebody like Conor Gallagher. Now I know the different positions. Don't get me wrong; they are very different positions. However, are we wanting to spend 50 million quid on a Conor Gallagher, or 43 or a little bit higher on a player who is as quality as Scalvini? Now, people have said about his ACL injury. I think it's proved with the likes of Livramento that these ACL injuries, players can come back from now with modern day medicine and modern day techniques. They can get back to their very best. Livramento's proved that. So I'm not too worried about that, to be honest, because I think this is a very, very talented centre-back and could be one of our centre-backs for years to come. Botman and Scalvini. What a pairing that is, by the way. Not writing off Dan Burn or Fabian Schär, obviously. We've got tremendous backup there as well. But as a first team, your first choice defenders being Botman and Scalvini, my God, I mean, that would be fantastic for Newcastle United. But it's far from, this deal is a long way off, in my opinion, reading what I have this morning. Certainly Newcastle United, very, very interested in him. But are they going to match what Atalanta want to tip them over from he's not for sale to yes, we're listening? And I think that's where this all boils down to, is that tipping point for the transfer fee. So we'll see what happens. Of course, there is still interest in Mark Gahey. That's gone very, very quiet as well. Gahey obviously will, I think, be affected by what's happening with Palace in European competition, down to the Conference League now. And as Billy jokingly said last night, he won't want to play in that new home top because it's dreadful. But we'll see in due course with that one. But Scalvini's still very, very much on the radar. Now then, Jack Ross, the former Sunderland manager, is now promoted again since joining Newcastle in 2023. He now has the job title of Head of Football Strategy. Now he'll be, this is what Newcastle have said, reporting to the new sporting director. We don't have one yet, obviously, so this is a little bit weird for me, guys, because we're appointing somebody to work with the sporting director, but surely the sporting director should be deciding who should be in certain positions when said sporting director actually gets appointed. Or have we already spoken to a possible sporting director and getting his staff ready for when we announce him? That's the big question. What Newcastle have said was, reporting into a new sporting director, Jack will take an important leadership role that will help develop a consistent sporting philosophy across the club. He will work within the football directorate alongside senior leadership across all sites, supporting communication, collaboration and the implementation of best practice across men's, women's and academy football. Having previously overseen almost 300 professional matches as a manager, Jack initially joined Newcastle's academy as head of coach development in March 23 before moving to the position of head of strategic technical football partnerships. He has continued to provide mentorship and strategic support to key staff. In addition to overseeing the club's player, loan and emerging talent strategy, Jack will also lead on building strategic relationships with other clubs, introducing new football development and talent pathway opportunities in the UK and overseas. So it's a very important job that he's taking control of there. It does mention the loan situation. I don't know where that leaves Shola Amiobi in all of this, overseeing the club's player loan and emerging talent strategy. So maybe that now Amiobi's going to report to Jack Ross, and it's a sort of step-up system. Who knows? But listen, good luck to Jack Ross. I just find the appointment a little bit weird because we don't have the sporting director in place yet, unless it's been previously agreed. Now, finally, a Sunderland fan has decided to put onto social media a video he took, what looks like to be in a nightclub or something, with Jason Tindall. Asking Jason Tindall if he's scared to death of Sunderland next season. This is the kind of patheticness that Sunderland fans have to resort to at times. It really is just absolutely crazy. Now, it's clear. You can watch the video. It's on Twitter. It's on social media. Jason Tindall has clearly had a drink, right? Which, fair enough. Nobody's going to argue with that. He's in a nightclub. Why not? And, you know, this Sunderland fan confronts him with a camera on him, asking him if he's fearing Sunderland next season. Tindall says no. Of course he's going to say no. Nobody's fearing Sunderland next season, for Christ's sake. I just think, you know, these circumstances, you know, get out of his face. You know, you're just a little rat from Sunderland who loves seagulls and loves making love to, you know, various fly and feathered animals. Just get out his face. There was no need for it at all. And then you splash it all over social media like you're some sort of famous little, you know, social media expert, you know, putting Jason Tindall online and all of that kind of crap. I hope it comes back to bite you in the arse, pal. I really do. It was a pathetic thing to do. And you don't look a very big man at all doing it, really. But anyway, that's how low some people will go, unfortunately. But there you go. That is the news, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of all the latest news so far today. We're back with another live show tonight at 7. Sam and Alex will be back with us as well. So we'll be back as a foursome tonight to tackle all the latest breaking news with Newcastle United as well. So don't forget to join us at 7 o'clock for that. If you have enjoyed this video, please like. And of course, if you're new, please do subscribe free of charge. All we ask is that you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. Check out the merch website at thetoonreview.com. And of course, please keep voting for us in the Football Content Awards. All the instructions are right at the top of the description below, with a category to put us in and the link to go and vote. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, folks, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.